I'm trying to talk about the use of the money you are making. Many people are poor because of how bad they use what they sweat to make. You can't be going to work 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the night, and all you have to show for your salary is a nice dress. You're foolish.
Welcome to Voices with Victoria, the place where you gain practical wisdom and inspiration to transform your life, one voice at a time. Let's dive deep into real stories of everyday heroes, sharing insights that spark personal growth, career advancement, and business success. Make sure you subscribe and be part of the movement. Hello, welcome to another insightful, exciting, and powerful episode of Voices with Victoria. And I'm your host for today, Victoria Undu. And guess who I have here in the studio? See, I am so excited, you can tell already. This man is a man that has results, not just in things, but in people. And that is so powerful. He is a man that you hear of him and his presence goes before him. How do they even say this? I really don't know how to do a proper introduction, but it's such an honor to have him right here, seated by my side, to give, a very powerful conversation on Voices with Victoria. Please join me as I make welcome the man, the movement, and the ministry of Elisha Mamman, aka Dad. And in fact, I was telling him before now, I've never seen a mentor that is so honored and has such a very, very great relationship with his mentees. And they call him Dad in such a sweet, adorable way that you can tell that there's a real relationship there. And that can only be because we have a powerful man like you. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure's mine.
I could not even read your professional bio because the weight of your presence alone.
It's fine.
Thank you. But please let me just do justice to your profile. He is a John C. Maxwell certified coach, renowned leadership trainer and inspirational speaker, recognized as a leading voice in northern Nigeria and I dare say in Africa as a whole as well. As an award-winning expert in leadership and mindset, he has delivered impactful trainings on topics like goal setting, value creation, decision-making, wealth creation, and a whole lot of that. He is also the convener of The Winning Mindset, a personal development platform inspiring growth and transformation. He is married to Elisha Mamman, CEO of Nonelli Crafty Cakes. This is an honorable mention, so it has to be mentioned. And they have 2 beautiful children, David and Zara. And again, it's such an honor and great delight to have you here.
The pleasure is mine. Thank
I'm
you,
so
Victoria.
excited. See, I know this conversation is for you people, but it's first for me. And I'm going to do justice to this.
Thank you.
First of all, introduction.
Yeah.
I've done an official introduction.
Yeah.
But beyond the bios and everything we can see, who is the man, Elisha Mamman?
I'm just a simple man with a very strong passion for human development. I believe in the ability of anybody to change both their lives, their community, and the world at large. So I make very intentional effort to bring my contribution to bear, to just see that whoever I meet is able to do something about himself, about his community, and about the world at large. That's just me.
Amazing. And that was such a beautiful introduction, even more than the plenty English that we see on Google. Well, yeah, we will take it. Now let's talk about your story.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm so interested about your story is because via your story, people find themselves and could find their paths as well. And there are people that are probably going through what you have gone through and would find the hope to push.
Yeah.
So tell us about you, about the man, the ministry, and the movement. What is your story like?
Well, my story is just like many other Nigerian stories out there because most of us were crafted by our environment. I was born into a modest family, I dare say, because we may not have money, but we had values. My father was a man of extreme value. And I also had to have difficult moments in my life, like finishing secondary school in 1995, and it lasted 8 years before I got to university.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like the look on your face. And, so I had to go to university at precisely about 26 years of age, and so that gap helped me learn a little thing about what life can be, and that not everything that starts well ends well, and not everything that starts bad ends bad. So from there, I was able to get a job in Lagos for 35,000 pay. I live in Festac. My office is on VI.
Anyways, I live in Festac. My parents, well.
Yeah, I live in Festac town, precisely 2nd Avenue, and I had to go to work in Victoria Island, and my salary was just 35,000. But I was excited. Why? Because for the first time, I had the ability to earn for myself, and I was very excited. I took that job very serious, and part of the reasons why the story is inspiring, because between 29 and 33, I have transformed my life completely. I was not the same man anymore. I was no longer shallow. I had also finished a diploma at that time, and I was precisely in 300-400 level in Lagos State University, and I was doing extremely well in my academics. I was doing well in my business. So I was a different person, and that led to the decisions that I have to make. So in summary, it's a story of generally grass to grace, obscurity to limelight, but above everything, I found faith while I was in those dark places. When I got born again, I found faith there. And then I was able to begin to learn what is needed for a man to change his life. So I gave my time to study those things and transfer them to people I meet. And that's what I'm doing for the last 10 years.
Wow. Oh, well, okay, so let's move on. And, we're going to be taking it up from your last statement, what is needed, right? And I want you to share at least some of it. I know it's going to be a long conversation, but let's just have as much as we can.
Now, Victoria, you find out that everybody can succeed, but not everybody will. The reason is simple. There are requirements. Everybody goes to university, but not everybody becomes a doctor in the university. Why? There are requirements to become a doctor. There are requirements to become a lawyer. There are requirements to become an architect. If you want to study psychology, it will take you just 4 years. If you want to be an architect, it will take you 6 years. If you want to be a doctor, it will take you 9 years. In life, the same thing is required. And when I say what is needed, it simply means what are the requirements for you to become a doctor? You have to write JAM. You have to go to a university. You have to be a science student. You have to meet certain grades, stuff like that. So these requirements we're talking about is the basis of which your life changes. Number one, I think everybody needs faith. Now, when I say faith, don't be too quick to say religion. No. When I mean faith, I mean everyone needs to believe in something so strong or his life won't change. Whether you are believing in God or you are believing in yourself, there must be a strong belief. And that belief must be acted upon. And that's where faith comes from. It is when you act on a belief that you have faith.
Yes.
Number two, beyond faith, everyone needs specific information. You see, information is the raw material for transformation. If you take information out of the equation, there won't be any kind of transformation. Yeah. It's the only raw material. And so, the good book says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Simply means, when knowledge comes in, there will be freedom. When knowledge comes in, there will be transformation. When knowledge comes in, there will be progress. So, to change your life, you don't just need faith. You need to go a step further to pursue what? Knowledge. And sometimes if you want to pursue knowledge that will help you, you have to pursue specific knowledge. Some of us are too general. You learn everything. Nobody is powerful in everything. But you will find people that are powerful, successful at something. When you say Tiger Woods, golf. When you say Federer, tennis. When you say Ronaldo, football. When you say Mandela, leadership. When you say Fela Durotoye before, motivation. That's it. If I call Tara, do it to you now, you know. Makeup. You don't have to think.
Yeah.
And that's you pursuing specific information. Also, you find out that it is not enough to have a goal. It is very important to take specific intentional actions. You know, so you have to act on what you know. You have to understand what you know. Now, these are what I call basic requirements. People need people. Everyone needs someone. That's what John Maxwell told us. Everyone needs someone, but someone does not need everyone.
Right.
You don't need everyone to succeed, but you need someone. Yeah. You know, Steve Harris said something striking to me many years ago. He said that I may need someone's contribution to succeed, but I don't need anyone's permission. And that strengthened my philosophy that people need people. I don't need you to give me permission to win, but I may need your contribution to win. If I'm coming to Uyo tomorrow, I may need your access for something. But you don't have to permit me. I'll do it anyway. You know, so those are milestones, and I wrote some of them in The Business of Life. For example, the power of choice. Yeah. For example, when you consider consequences in life, they are just what? Responses to choices. You hear somebody say, I don't know why this thing happened to me. That's never true. Nothing just happens. Nothing just happens. Everything happening is made to happen. Wow. You know, so like you said, there are a lot, but these are basic things. You need faith, you need to believe, you need information, you need actions, you need people, you need discipline. Why? There are a lot of us that are not doing extremely well, not because we don't have the information, but we are not disciplined enough to carry the information to where it will turn into something that empowers us. So that's a few.
Well, that's a lot, not a few. Oh, well. I think, this conversation, I just have to, take it all in. It's something that I really do hope that our viewers will get back to and listen over and over again.
Yeah.
But I will do same as well.
Yeah.
So let's move on the conversation. There are a lot of things you touched on, which I think are pointers and what I already planned, and we'll get to that. Yeah. But I want to start with this. Let's talk about scarcity to abundance, because you're somebody who has shown that. Yeah. You typically said from grass to grace. That's from scarcity to abundance. Yeah. And you shared, I read a book or something that you shared that in 2006, at 29, you were broke, unmarried, frustrated, and all of that. What was now the defining moment for you, or the realization that sparked your transformation? At what point did you know that, something has to switch up? And what actually did the switch? Because we have people in that position that are broke, frustrated, and stuck. Yeah. How did you shift?
Now, for me, I found faith first.
Yeah.
And so I was around a lot of young people that were making significant progress.
Point number one.
So I found out that's not about age. 2, in this pursuit, I found out there were people that are doing well, that we had similar stories. So there was no need for me to continue to hold to my story, because my story is no longer valid. Victoria, my story is no longer personal. There are a lot of people that were born poor. So why is my case different?
Oh.
And I made a resolve. And that's what I taught on Saturday. The first thing I did was I made a resolve that I won't die like this. I must do something about my life. That's the first. I made a resolve. And making that resolve, that was what pushed me to begin to look for solution for my life. Now, many, many years ago when you are in church, the topic of success is not really preached. 20 years ago, I got born again, 1998. Now, the topic was not common. Just people like Sam Adeyemi who was talking about what you need to succeed. All I wanted was to find work. And I had just a diploma. And in this big Lagos, there are thousands of degrees with no job. Who will consider
A diploma holder.
That's where the next mystery happened. Somebody I served many years ago decided to ask, come, I heard you're back from school. What are you doing now? I need somebody like you. Somebody I can trust. Come to my office tomorrow. And I went to VI. No interview, no letter, nothing. He just called, GM, Elisha starts working with you from today. Take him to your site. That's all. That's how I started to work. But I took my work as if it's my whole life. It's not a prestigious job, so it was not that I got to an office, I was wearing tie. No. They took me to a Papa Wharf to be counting fertilizer and arranging it.
Wow.
But I saw a way out of poverty. And I took it. Victoria, in 3 months, I was made warehouse manager.
In 3 months?
In 3 months. I dressed well to work. I brought in smarts to work. I brought in proper documentation. Because everybody was doing the work because the work requires just laborers. But now I'm not a laborer. So I brought paper to bring in documentation. I arranged things. To my left, there are so and so. I brought it. And anytime the banks come, banks like documentation. So I'll take the paper and I'll tell them, there's no need asking anybody. I think if you go through this, you find out everything is in this warehouse is documented.
Wow.
And the branch head looked at me and said, who are you? I said, I'm a new now. And I heard the first statement that impressed me. I said, there's someone we need here. But that's a banker. I'm not going to work in the bank. And that banker went back to the office to meet my managing director. And he told my managing director, that boy is wasting where he is. Put that boy where? When we go. I just got a phone call the next morning. Relocate to so and so place. There's a full warehouse. You're in charge. And that's where the banks will be coming to take information. That's where. That's all. The moment that promotion came, I bought a laptop with everything I've got in my account. I have 158. The laptop cost me 150. What did I buy the laptop? I don't even know how to use it. I didn't want to take my next report to the office with a written biro. And when I got to the office, while I was waiting for my bosses to give their report, everybody was bringing a paper with written biro. And when it was my turn, I brought out a typed document. And I dropped it in front of my boss, and the first thing that came out of his mouth was, are you people okay? How will your subordinate be disorganized?
Doing extra work. I'm
emphasizing the power of work. It's not work that changes your life, it's how you work.
Oh.
There are a lot of people who work that are still broke.
True.
Because when I got married, I didn't spend the first 1 year of my marriage, I didn't spend a 1 month completely with my wife at home. I was on the road. Because it was hard for me to survive alone. Now I have a wife. But people take work for granted. Yeah. People even belittle hard work. People say you don't need to work hard, you need to be working smart. I don't know what that means. I don't really know what that means. I just mean that is people using English to cover up for laziness. I think for your work to be considered smart, you must work hard enough.
True.
You must work hard enough. And that was the journey. The work changed everything. And then another strong suit for me was the relationships I built. I didn't take my work to be more important than the people I was working with. I didn't take my work more important than the suppliers. So while I put in the best in the work, I was building relationship with everybody that I have to work with. And if I tell you the role of the people who I worked with in my becoming this, you'll be glad. Everyone helped me become more. You get, so that's the journey. And from warehouse, 2 years later, I became regional manager. They have never asked me for my certificate.
Wow.
At that time, they have never asked me for anything. From regional manager, I became group inventory control manager. I became national coordinator.
From what phone call?
I still serve the same man anyway. I started serving him 1990.
Wow.
This is 34 years. Wow. Serving the same man.
How? Okay. Now let's talk about relationship. I think let's because there are a lot of germs to what you have dropped. How do I ask this question? Like I have many questions going through my head. Which one? Okay, let's talk about relationship. You know, from your journey, I can see people in it. How can people build such a solid relationship, or beyond building this relationship, sustaining them? Because you've worked with one person. And then when we talk about, after we're done with relationship, we're going to talk about mentorship.
Good.
You know, because I think that those two are very key. So just tell us the place in succeeding, relationship and mentorship, and how people can access all of this.
Now, relationship is a fundamental system for every kind of success.
Okay.
Now, let me make a statement that is very profound, and then people will find it very good. There will never be any kind of production without a relationship. All productions are relationship prone. All. The seed needs soil to become a tree. The sperm needs ovary to become a child.
Yeah.
That's the rule of life. So there has to be some form of interaction before there is any kind of production. For God to tell Adam to be fruitful and multiply, after he said that, he realized that it's not possible for Adam. So he brought a woman.
Yeah.
Because the woman was in Adam when they told him that. So God now said, for this to happen, he brought out the woman and put beside him because of that. Now, relationship is not just fundamental for production. You can see from my explanation, relationship is the essence of life.
Yes.
We were not made to be isolated. We were made to be connected. Genesis 9 says that the whole earth grew from 3 boys. Shem, Japheth. So we're all, actually I'm close, I'm related to you.
Yeah. True.
You know, every viewer that is watching us now, we're all related. Because we came from one tree. Because if you come from Japheth or Shem, they were brothers.
Yeah.
So we all came from Noah. Now, the first thing I have found out about relationship is that it's an interaction. What interaction simply means? It means it's actions between two people. That's what interaction means. It's interactions. So how do you act towards somebody? That's what relationship means. That's why I find out that the relationship requires contact. Relationship requires communication.
Yes.
Relationship requires contribution. No matter how rich the man you serve is, contribute to his life. Yes. If you can't give him your money, give him your time. Oh, I found out later in life that availability is also an ability.
Availability is also an ability.
It's actually the ability to avail yourself. So simply means if you lack the ability, you can't avail yourself.
Period.
So I like young men under me who are more available than who are able. Why? If you are available, I can give you ability. But no matter how able you are, if you are not available, you can't contribute to my life. So I value availability. Knowing this, I was available. I'm always available in my relationships. But I'm not just available, I'm available to contribute. I'm available to communicate. I'm available to help. You know, relationship is a mutual thing. It's not about one is bigger and the other is smaller. No, it's a mutual thing. If you call it a relationship, there has to be communication. If you call it a relationship, there has to be contributions. And contributions have to go both ways. You are making a contribution in my life today. You are putting me on a podcast that I'm going to have access to your audience. Yes. That's contribution you have just made in my life. To somebody else, you say, no, Elisha is a big name. So, no, I'm not doing you a favor. We are doing us a favor.
Absolutely.
You are adding so much value to my life. Why? Somebody who has never seen me that is in your community is now going to see me.
The mindset. Wow.
Relationship is profound. That's why I believe in people matter. The people today who can't do much for you can do so much tomorrow. So we should stop judging people particularly because of their current abilities. Why? Because abilities change. Abilities change. So I take relationship very serious. My relationship with you, my relationship with Fee, my relationship with Chika, my relationship with my mentors, I take it extremely serious. I ask myself one question every day when I'm dealing with people above me. How can I contribute to their lives? And it's the same question I ask when I'm dealing with Fee. How can I contribute to your life? So I see it like that. And my mentor, when I was going to start my business, which he actually gave me the opportunity to do, he didn't just give me opportunity to start a business. He didn't just give me platform. He guaranteed the financing that I was used to start. He guaranteed it 100%.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of trust.
And that's 200 million.
Wow. A lot of
Not
trust.
last year, 2013. So you know what 200 million means. Why would my life look the same? Now, not everybody have this opportunity that I had. But this opportunity didn't come to me because I'm Elisha Mamman. Yeah. It came because I didn't just serve. I served right. And while I was serving, I was not serving to be rewarded. I was serving to contribute. So the moment he had an opportunity to make a contribution in my life, he did what I can never get anywhere else. And that changed my whole world. I had so much capital to do my business. This thing we call relationship, I wish everyone takes it serious, whether the mentor or the mentee. Everyone needs to start paying attention to the people in their lives. Husbands, pay attention to wives. Fathers, pay attention to children. Yes. Relationship is the only thing that matters at the end. And so it's very, very vital. It's not something we can talk briefly, but at the same time, it's not something anyone should ignore. We should try to harness and maximize relationships, contacts, communications, contributions. And then the bedrock is character. Relationship thrives when people trust themselves. Sure. And it's character you trust, not capacity. People don't trust you because you're able. People trust you because of your attitude. Yes. So you see, all these things brought together to bear is what influences people. Is what allows people to trust you, like you, use you, and continue to use you.
So the word, this person is just using me, it's not so much of a bad thing.
Have you ever seen somebody using something useless?
Well.
You have to be useful to be used.
Yeah.
So if you are useful, how do we know you are useful?
By being used.
So, I don't know what that means.
Table broken. Based off this conversation now, we want to shatter like two tables. Okay, you can remain one leg from each, but we'll look at the mentor side and the mentee side.
Yeah.
I hear some people say, I have outgrown this mentor. So do you think, so question one on this angle, do you think that you can outgrow mentorship or you can outgrow a particular mentor? And then from the mentor's side, I've also seen complaints online that, mentorship is just a buzzword. Mentors just want to, in quote, use you. Mentors are not interested. And the reason I'm asking you, because I think that you're highly qualified to talk on this. I have seen your dealings with your mentees. And these are people that have grown from 0 to 100 and still respect and honor you as a mentor in their lives. How have you been able to sustain that mentorship relationship with them where they don't feel like I have outgrown you? So let's balance it on the two ends, the mentor side and the mentee side. First
things first, let's be able to define mentorship.
Okay.
In a statement, mentorship is a relationship of learning. Where one intentionally provides the wisdom required for one to engage to change his life. So there's somebody intentionally interested in somebody else. And there's someone else intentionally interested in changing his own life. So one has a need, one has an expertise. That's the basic meaning of mentorship. But what we forget is that we are taking the learning more serious than the relationship. Mentorship is a relationship. It is a relationship. So the relationship must be the major emphasis. So people who say all these things they are saying, both on the mentor side and the mentee side, are people who have defects on relationship matters. They are defective on relationship matters. Why? Because, let me answer the question straight. No one can outgrow mentorship. No one outgrows mentorship. Just like a child can't outgrow his parent. But a child can leave his parents' house.
Yes.
What people should be saying is not outgrowing mentorship, it's growing to become decisive. Now, it's because of the relationship you find my mentees are still with me. It's not because of the information. But I have the information.
Yes.
But it's not because of it that they stay with me. It's because of what? The relationship. I'm interested in their lives.
Wow.
Some mentors are not interested in your life. They're interested in what your result. I'm interested in their lives. And once they have achieved, I celebrate their achievement and I focus on what they can do next. On the mentee side, where I say it is pride to say you are outgrowing your mentor, it is also important to know when you are not getting what you need to get from a particular relationship, you may need another relationship.
Yes.
But there's no need to talk down on the previous one. Does it make sense?
Absolutely.
Paul said something in the book. He said, you have one father but many instructors. So it's allowed.
It's allowed.
For many people to instruct you. It's allowed. But you have one father means what? You have one heritage. All of us came from somewhere. Do you know where you're coming from? I know my heritage. I know the lineage I came from. I know the men backward to the patriarch. That's how parenting is, and that's how mentor. So it's basically about the relationship. And I tell people, I said, try to be in people's lives in the beginning. Try to be in people's lives when they need you. Stop claiming people that are doing so well. Because you can add value to their lives today, but they have already matured. Then you now come and be calling them
attached to their success.
They are my boys. They are not your boys, sir. That you are giving them a new opportunity does not make them your boys. Your father can't call me his child and claim me. But your father can call me my son and say, how are you? Fine. How are you doing? Fine. How is your father? The father is about where you came from. Instructor is about what you are learning. We must differentiate the two. You can learn from anybody, but you don't come from everybody. If he came from me, with all audacity, I say it.
Yes.
I don't even have to say it. You can't bully him into not saying it.
Yes.
As he enters a new relationship with you, he reminds you. I have a genealogy.
Yeah.
Same with Daniel. Same with every other person. Why are we saying these things? We need people to be in mentorship relationships. Why? Because it's fundamental for success. Roger Federer has a coach. Ronaldo has a coach. Nia Adesoya has a coach. I saw a picture recently and I posted and I made a comment and people were making a lot of comments under my comment because of what I said. Now, I saw Nia Adesoya receiving prayers from Sam Adeyemi. That's our patriarch in public speaking in this country. And then he wrote under, it's an honor to spend time in my spiritual father's presence and to receive a blessing. And I wrote under, even good mentors have mentors.
Yes.
Even good ones have mentors. I don't have regard for a man that I don't know where he's coming from. I don't have regard for him. Yes. Because nobody fell from heaven. Everybody's born from somebody. Now, these are the reasons why we're talking about. So, the mentee must have a need. Please don't enter mentorship relationship for fun.
Just for the sake of being part of the
It's not a fun relationship. It's a relationship of learning. So you must have a need to know something. But today, everybody just want to identify with somebody because it makes them feel good. He's my mentor, he's my mentor, he's my mentor. And you have not talked to the same person for 4 years. How is he your mentor? He's my mentor, he's my mentor. You have not read his book. No, now. So those are the foundational issues. From the definition, the mentor must have wisdom and expertise. The mentee must have hunger and need. Because that's when you know mentorship is working. Not everybody goes to mentorship to become rich. Some people go to mentorship to become healthy.
Yeah. Different goals.
So what's your need? And what's your goal? So those are the basic two legs that holds mentorship. But the whole essence of mentorship is a relationship. It's a relationship. Some mentors think they are so big to have that relationship with you. So they connect with you, meet your need from afar off. I don't do that. I don't believe it works. It's not effective. I have a lot of people who left mentorships to come for my mentorship. And one of the things they are complaining is connection. And I've told you, Victoria, when you focus on the learning and ignore the relationship, the mentorship will break down.
Yes, true. You said that.
You're not the only one that can teach them what you're teaching them.
Yeah.
So what are you giving them extra? One of my paid clients came here yesterday night, joined you people, and he took me upstairs to give me a gift, a huge gift. And he said, I'm trying to remember where you picked me from. And he told me some beautiful stories. And he gave me a beautiful gift. And he asked me a question. Is this enough, sir?
Oh.
And I said, what kind of questions are you? Do people have something to say about a gift? He said, no, sir. I need you to like whatever I want to give you.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, it's enough. He said, then I'm coming tomorrow night. Relationship. He was in a paid mentorship that he left to come and join my own. And I asked him why. He said, when I saw you and Fee, when I saw you and Emmanuel Akpe, when I see you and Effie, when I want that
personal relationship.
Do you know sometimes the mentorship session we're just talking? And that's the essence.
Wow.
You know, that's basically. And everyone succeeding today, somebody helped him. Have you heard the slogan, I'm a self-made?
Are they really self-made men?
Fallacy, myth, and pride.
Sure.
That's where it's coming from.
Sure.
Your parents gave birth to you, nurtured you to a level. Your teacher taught you something.
Even the people that were naysayers, everybody, the negative and positive contributed to
the person that helped you prepare a document. You can't be self-made. Let me make it clear. Let me even put it in perspective. Men don't make themselves. Men can't make themselves. Number one, let us make man. Genesis 1. Matthew 5, follow me, I will make you. That's enough proof to let you know that men are made. So no man can make himself.
Yes.
No man can make himself. Yeah. We are all made. Yeah. Somebody makes us. Somebody's making you.
Yeah.
Somebody's making me.
True.
And then you are making somebody. Am I making? That's the purpose of mentorship. It's a massive, beautiful relationship. It's not a relationship you take advantage of people.
Table broken.
It's not a relationship where the other person, you know the other person is weak. And you are leveraged. It's not a leeching relationship. And people think it's the mentee that is a leech. No, there are mentors that are leeches.
Yeah.
There are mentorship that girls come to them, but they are emotionally weak. And they become their side chicks. That's not mentorship. That's manipulation.
True.
So there's a lot. So that's why a lot of people are even tired of mentorship. Because we have a lot of sad stories.
Yeah.
But mentorship is true. Mentorship is correct. And they're existing.
And there are good stories as well from it.
Massive, beautiful stories. Across the whole nation.
Yeah.
There are a lot of beautiful stories across the lives of many men. So that's the most important thing for me, is a relationship. Yeah. And I try to build it well.
Hearing you speak, for the past few minutes now, at the core of it is time, because you're one human being, and except you have more hours than we do, or maybe, I don't know how you do it. You have 24 hours, I have 24 hours, and I'm sure that every other person listening has 24 hours. How do you have time to fulfill the needs of either a mentor or mentee and your other relationships that you're servicing, because you're very active in them, and the many other businesses that you do? And I mean, you have a wife, you have children. That's the home front.
I'm
work,
an active father.
Very active. And, ministry.
I have
fact,
a ministry, I have a platform.
You have all the things
Not
that you
winning
do.
mindset, I have a ministry platform.
Wow. Yeah.
The King's House Christian Fellowship. I'm the lead steward.
So now, except there's something you are not telling us, and maybe you should tell us here. Maybe God gave you extra, knowing that there are many things you have to do. He said, "My son, I bestow you with extra 3 hours because you have to do more." How do you balance all of this?
I'll give you light to a verse, and you will like it. The word balance is also a myth. There's nothing like that.
Okay.
You can't balance 2 areas of your life equally. It's not possible. It's a myth. So what's the solution? Prioritization. And what does that mean? It simply means there's time for everything. Ecclesiastes 1. That's what it was saying. So what do? You are one. So you have to arrange everything that needs you and give it its time. And learn to do it in its time.
Oh.
I can't take my wife's time to coach. And I won't give my wife my coaching time. So any day, for example, I have coaching for 10 p.m. till 12 midnight because I do coaching. My clients are big people, so we use night most times. I try to be home, and then you find out I'm home, and then I'm talking from 6 p.m. Babe, I have mentorship by 10 p.m. So anything, okay, the children, before they go to sleep, you know what I'm doing? I'm preparing her to know that I'm not going to sacrifice that 2 hours. Because she knows that's part of my life.
Yes.
But why was I at home early? To nurture. Because I'm also not going to waste my family life because I want to be a coach. Yeah, I like being married more than being a coach.
Yeah.
I repeat myself. I like being married than being a coach.
Yes.
I like being a father than being a coach. If you take being coach away from me, it won't stop anything. But if you take being father, if you take being husband from me, you have tampered with my life.
Yes.
That's how I think. So it's about priorities. It's about urgency. There's a time management template that talks about urgency, important, not important. Learn that principle. So what am I going to do today? I have an appointment with Victoria by 4 o'clock. Okay. I'm picking David from school by so. Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 came to life. There is time for everything. Meaning what? Everything you are doing from today, give it what?
Time.
And do it in its time. And if you have a day that you don't have anything to do, give all that time to yourself, to your husband, and to your children. That's all. I don't have any other secret beyond that. So I give my children time to call. So I've prepared all of them. Sophie sends a message. Dad, what time am I calling you? Call me 8. Emmanuel Akpe may have sent me a message. I really need to talk to you. Call me 9:30. Did you see the call? So what am I doing different? I'm talking to Fee. When I finish, I'm wait. The next call come. I'm talking. When I finish, no, you can't call me again. I have coaching from 10. Call me 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So because of you, I'll stay awake. Does that look like a miracle? No.
Just structure and systems you've put in place.
Just like that.
Powerful.
And it's just from that one verse, there's time.
For everything.
Time to hug. Time to refrain from hugging.
Yeah.
Time to plant. Time to, it's simple. Study that verse and you will get a lot of light to how to harness your life. Don't give your husband time for your baby and don't give your baby time for your husband.
Yeah.
That's all it means. Your husband needs you, your baby needs you.
They all need you.
So you give them their time. My son asked me a very profound question many years ago. We're traveling out of the country and when we got to the US and we're playing our and he said, so he was watching TV, so I told him, I said, go and watch TV, please. I want to lie in the room with your mom and we're playing. We'll be watching TV in the bedroom. And then he came. He said, what do you love most between me and mommy?
question.
I said, which kind of question is that? He said, no, Daddy, answer me. I said, none. My son is very intelligent, so I know him. I said, none. So you don't love two of us? I said, I love both of you equally. But I love you most as a son because my wife is not my son. And I love her most as my wife because you can never be my wife. He said, I said, He just went back to the parlor.
Okay.
That's how God saved me.
That's wisdom.
Because
Great
he was
wisdom.
pressing that question. Because I'm saying, David, just go to the city room and watch your this thing. We're on holiday. Let me lie down. I want to talk to your mother. But I can stay here and watch the TV. You two will be talking. I said, we don't want you to hear what you're saying. And then the question is going, so who do you love most? Every time you're telling. So you can imagine that.
To be honest, I want this conversation to keep going. I feel like I've not asked all my questions because as you keep talking, more is coming on. But I understand your time and I do respect your time. But please, for me to take like Oliver Twist, let me take just about 2 more questions.
That's fine.
And I want to talk about, somebody specifically asked this question when I told the person, she's one of your daughters, by the way, that I'm interviewing you. I said, please ask him. Okay, so I'm going to be merging it. I already had a question about finance.
Okay.
Then my question is your journey from financial struggle to stability and then abundance as we have it. How did you develop financial discipline? And what advice would you give to people trying to improve their financial life, but they still struggle? In her own question, as simple as it comes, how did you build your wealth? She wants to make money and, what are the strategies?
First things first, there's no private information about that. Information about building wealth is everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's just that we say it in different ways. And then, we're in a generation where you like to rhyme. So we like to arrange information to sound nice. So that people say deep.
Deep.
And the issue of deep is how tall you are. If you're very short, a long hole will look long. Okay, number one, first things first. When it comes to wealth creation, there are what we call principles, there are what we call pillars. Number one is making the money, which we call the ability to earn. So the first question is, if you are not earning any kind of money, you will perpetually be in financial crisis. Yes. And so the first thing is, do you earn? How do you earn? The third question is, how frequent do you earn? That's the first question. So the question is she earning any kind of money? What is she doing to earn that money? How often does she earn that money? How often simply means, do you make money weekly? Do you make money daily? Do you make money monthly? If you're a salary earner, you already know you have your frequency. Yeah, it's monthly. If you are selling course, your frequency can be daily. Yeah. Now, that's the first thing. So what I did was I got a job, which you knew. But added to my job, I had side gigs.
Wow.
Okay. Because 35,000 is not enough. So I was selling clothes in my bag. So when I go to work, and my office had a lot of bankers coming for meetings because we're into importations that time. So bankers were coming. And I used to get, I like your shirt. I like your shirt. So what do? I started buying my shirts the same type, but the colors I do not like. Because I like blue. So I wear a lot of blue shirts. Okay. Just different patterns. But I like blue. So I'll buy a brown one. I'll buy a white one. I'll buy a cream one. I'll buy a purple one. Like that. And then I go, I like this your shirt. I say, I have the red.
Hey.
And then suddenly my side hustle was paying me more than my job. But I needed my job because the relationship in my job is tied to my future. So I never allowed the side hustle tamper with it. But it was taking care of my needs.
Absolutely.
Then I went into providing clothes for wedding. I found out that young men who want to marry want to wear very good suits. And Italian suits were expensive. And Italian shops don't do installments in Nigeria. So I go get Italian suits, I give it to you, and I allow you pay in installments.
Okay.
Then I grew to the point whereby I started bringing clothes from the UK. I grew to the point whereby I started going to Dubai to cargo clothes. Now, this part of my life, many people don't hear.
Okay.
So
Exclusive.
I was selling shoes, I was selling shirts. It was a side hustle. I did it until 2011. That's when I stopped. From 2006. So for 5 years I was doing that. But everybody knew me with only one thing. And what I'm saying is that while you are young, you can do many things. But you won't be able to do many things when you get older. So now you are young, do many things. If you have a job, add a skill.
Yeah.
I was talking to a lady yesterday night. She's making so much money. Why? From her skill, more than her job. But she likes the job. So I told her, I said, never leave what you like because of what you are making more money for. Why? Because the pleasure you derive from an activity is also important for your health, for your life.
Yeah, it gives you balance.
Yes. Because what she was making in the skill can make her forget her job forever. But I insisted she should keep the job. Why? You are young.
You can do
She's
both,
even not
yeah.
married.
So,
So that's what I tell people. So try and earn as much as you can while you can. Because there's always
while
going
you
to
can.
there's always going to be a time you cannot do what you are doing today. That time will come for all men. Number 2, whereas some people are making money but life is still difficult for them, is because the second pillar is faulty. You must learn money preservation. You must learn to know that you can't spend all you make. It's a discipline you must learn. So saving is a discipline that everyone pursuing financial wealth must learn. Proverbs 21:20, Abi 20:21 says that he who squanders all is not wise. Money preservation. There's another way to preserve money, which is buying an asset. But the first one I want to talk, which is easy, because buying an asset is capital intensive.
Yeah.
So for you that don't have enough money, learn to save from little of what you earn. And then the third one, which is the one that is the key, is money management. How you earn is not as important as what you do with what you earn. So we are captivated that I earn #1 million. So what? What you do with 1 million that you earn is what makes you rich, not the 1 million you earn.
Oh, yeah.
Because you still have rent to pay from the 1 million.
Yeah.
You still have phone to...
Other expenses.
Well. There's a lot of things you need to do. And that's the issue here. So it's first money making, it's money preservation, and then it's money management. A lot of us are in our predicament because of our poor money management skills. So if I want to answer her, these are the 3 things I did. I started making sure I earn. And remember, I told you the many things I was doing so that there will be more coming in. In my career, there was a loophole. The loophole simply means I was in a position where I have to give businesses to people. So what did I do? I invested in one of the businesses.
But to even invest, you needed to have saved up.
I've saved.
Yeah.
So the person came, said, if you give me 2 million, I'll be able to handle this job you are giving that man. I said, really? He said, yes. I said, okay, go register yourself. And then I took, and I gave him, and I said, I'm the owner of the company. You're working for me. So every profit, I calculate it and bring it to me, I'll give you a percentage. And that's what we did. That's how I bought my first house.
Wow.
When that man brought my money back, after 1 year of transaction, I bought a house in Kaduna.
1 year.
So people may think it's not impossible. I was working, I was selling clothes, I was saving massively because I was still a bachelor. And then this opportunity came. Then I invested in it. And I did that investment from 2006 to 2013. But I bought the first house in 2010. Why? I was using my money well. Even though my wife helped. because I like clothes a lot. So I have more, my clothes were my assets. I didn't know that they were useless assets. They were useless things. I used to buy shirts, shoes. And then one day my wife asked me a question. Babe, what do you have? I said, nothing like that. I have a job, I'm making money. The last time I went to shop with you, I saw how much you spent to buy shirts and shoes. Do you have land? I said, I'm young. What am I? Oh, this kind of Igbo girl self. What are you talking land? That's how I started. And she kept insisting. So I bought my first land to pacify my fiancé.
Wow.
So that she can get off my back so that I can continue buying clothes. But after I bought the first land, something happened. I felt different.
That you own a piece of the earth. That's powerful.
So somebody was calling me and says, I heard you just go land. I want to go check.
Bragging right activated.
Oh, let's buy more. You understand? And then another friend interfered in my life. So my money, my growing wealth has nothing to do with my wisdom solely. People help me. So I had a banker friend. I like BMWs. So I bought a BMW, so I went to see him. So I brought him downstairs to see my BMW. So he asked me how much. So I told him, I said, oh, and he looked sad. And I said, why is it? He said, you'd have bought a house. There's a house that they wanted to sell. I said, well, I still have some money. But I came to see you for something. He said, well, I want to buy a car for my wife. And I want to buy a brand new car.
Huh?
This was 2010. I wanted to buy the 2010 model Honda Accord from the bank. And he says, well, I said, this woman has sacrificed for me. I want to buy, then I was unmarried. I want to buy a brand new car. I want her to tear the nylon. The guy went upstairs and asked for my loan document. And I was paying 60% of the cash for the loan. I was supposed to pay just 30%, but I had cash in his account, he's my account officer, to pay 60%. And he looked at me and he tore the document. And I told him, I said, this is not nice. And he said, I'm coming to see you by 7 p.m. And I went home angry. And he came to my house by 7. And he carried me to his house. And he took me around. And he brought me to the parlor and he told his wife to bring drinks. And he told me they want to sell this house. And this house is also amount. With the money you have in your account and the connections you have, you can own this house. I said, I can't. I don't have a plan. And I'm not going to inconvenience myself.
Yeah.
And he created an appointment for me the next day with the lawyer of the owner. In 48 hours, this man put so much pressure on my head. Jacob Ihesi is his name. He's now with the Union Bank. Victoria, I went for the meeting and the house dropped from 18 million to 7.5 million. And the next day he called me. He said, there's 3 million in your savings account.
It's after your life.
We need 4 million. I said, I'm going to Lagos to write an exam. He said, give me permission to make a deposit. I gave him. He paid the 3 million. I went to Lagos. This was in December. By February 10th, I bought the house. That my guy brought the balance. He brought 5.7 and I needed to pay 4.5. Another of my friend had already borrowed me 1.2 million. Credibility. That's how I owned my first house.
Instead of the brand new car.
Down the line, she got her car. Now, I'm trying to talk about the use of the money you are making. Many people are poor because of how bad they use what they sweat to make. You can't be going to work 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the night, and all you have to show for your salary is a nice dress. You are foolish. You are foolish. You shouldn't invest sweat on petty things. So once your income comes by sweat, grow it. until you have a way of having ease in making money. Don't buy rubbish. That's what I learned from what Jacob taught me.
Whew. Oh, wow.
Today now I can sell something and use part of the money, buy a car, use part of the money, go for vacation. And then I'll still retain my capital. Because I used, and that's
okay.
And that's how I built it. That's how I moved from zero. That's the 3 step I moved. I have an ebook online called You Too Can Be Rich.
Okay. We'll put up the link somewhere in the video. So
You Too Can Be Rich. It's just a simple strategy, you know. And I simplified it to these 3 simple steps so that she can develop it herself and see how. And let me just make it simple. That's how everybody makes money.
Yeah, absolutely.
You make it, you preserve it, you manage it.
Absolutely.
After you manage it, then the last one comes, she's multiplied.
Yeah.
That's just it.
I've had, what's the word? Great doesn't even cut it. And but I want you to give final words as we close up.
Yeah.
And in your final words, you can also tell us how faith, just in a few minutes, how the place of God and the place of faith in all of the things, and then you just give us final words to the viewers.
Well. I think the place of God cannot be overemphasized because it is the only place that has eternity attached to it. You know, outside God, there's no eternity. Your car doesn't have eternal life. Your house doesn't have eternal life. House is born, gets flooded. You know, but the reason why we need God to succeed is because God is constant.
Yes.
His principles are as constant as He is. His word is as sure as He is. You know, and I have found faith for 20-something years now, and it has been my source of strength and of hope. And so what I try to tell young people out there is that in everything you do, make sure God is part of your life. Yes. And my final word is simple. Your life is your business. Nobody owes you anything. And nobody's coming to save you.
Wow. What a grand conclusion to this session.
Thank you, Victoria.
It felt like, I feel whole. I feel empowered and I feel transformed. But it goes beyond the words. Gratitude is really an understatement of how I feel right now. I want to say a very big thank you to you.
Thank you.
For the many things that you do, for the lives that you build and you touch. And I'm so very sure that this interview is a turning point in the life of many people that is going to listen to this, right? Thank you so much again. Pleasure's all mine. I appreciate you. So thank you for watching another exciting episode of Voices with Victoria. Please, I'm going to put the link to some of his videos and his course. I know that he has a growth bundle as well. You can just go to the link on his Instagram bio to get that, but I'll also attach it in this video. Please, this is something that you want to encounter, right? There are some people that when you encounter them, things will just have to change for your life as well. Follow him on Instagram at Elisha Mamman, Facebook, and every other social media platform. Don't forget to follow us as well. And for this video, please like. So let's do it together. You do comments, and share. Please don't forget to subscribe to this video. Thank you so much. And until next time, bye for now.